Hi, I'm Claire, and today I am hoping to change the way you talk about your business by getting you to think differently about the story that you tell. People with passion usually have a reason. Why do you do what you do? Well, for me, it's about fairness or equity. Everybody should be able to compete. Life isn't always fair, but that doesn't mean you can't get most of what you want or what you need. The education and experience that shaped my career looks like this. Undergraduate work in language and literature, and art and psychology taught me the science and practice of moving an idea from one mind to another. My graduate work in public relations taught me the game of crafting and positioning messages and the tremendous inequity of who gets attention in this world. My early jobs in public relations and member service for policy organizations taught me that I cared about fairness and service over politics. And I saw an opportunity to bring all this together and started my own company in January of 1998. The World Wide Web was new and it was a great equalizer for messaging. For the first time, people were really going to be able to talk about themselves, not needing to get the media to talk about them or invest in massive printing endeavors, but to self-publish online. As you can imagine, not all the content was good, so people learned to tune out the bad stuff quickly. And Google was also founded in 1998 to help people connect with what they wanted to see and filter out the rest. So, what is the science and art of visual communication? Well, the science is easy. 90% of our brains are dedicated to processing visual information. 65% of people are visual learners, and 90% of buying decisions are made in the subconscious mind. And for each of us who's trying to sell something, let's take another look at this last one. This means that your buyers are generally making decisions before you have a chance to talk with them. So the art of visual communications is crucial, figuring out what to say and how to say it. Any designer can create an image that's worth 1,000 words, but what should the words be? By the way, this is the most important thing that people don't consider until they've already spent too much time and money on marketing. What are you making people feel? Because feeling is what motivates them. Here's the very obvious secret. Instead of talking about what you can do, talk about what they can do with your help. You will be successful if you can show them how they need you to fulfill their destiny, because everyone has a desire or a destiny. Your best customer is an orphan on a desert planet with the potential to become the greatest Jedi in the universe. And you're Yoda. Your true value to your customers is how you make them the heroes of their own stories. Therein lies the problem with the way most people talk about their value. It's usually all me, or we. Talk about himself. Yoda did not. Paint success for your customer, you must. Most of your clients are not wrestling with becoming the greatest Jedi Master of the universe, but you can figure out what they are wrestling with, what primal need you feel for your clients. They will feel that desire like the force within them. What people care about is themselves, and that's fine. That's how it's supposed to be. You've probably seen Maslow's hierarchy of needs chart here, but you may not have thought about it as a marketing tool. So figure out what basic primal instinct you fulfill and tap into it. In this networking group alone, we've got people servicing every level on this chart. So take a look at your most successful work. What are you really doing? How are you transforming the lives of your customers? You write your story by understanding someone else's story, the story of how your best customer can succeed with your help. Your true value is how you make your best customer succeed. Like I said, we don't just want to give you a great website, brochure, or logo. We want to change the way you talk about your business. So you need to know who that customer is and what they need. To do that messaging legwork, we use the story brand framework. Your best potential customer is your target audience. They are the main character in the story you're telling, not you. So who are they? They have a problem, whether they know it or not. What is that problem? We'll figure out what survival need we're meeting for them. And we'll talk about this problem in 4 ways. A villain we can name, external forces that are acting on them, internal forces they're battling, and their philosophical beliefs about what they deserve. Then we'll define you as a guide. But remember, you're no ordinary guide. You're Yoda. How can you solve their problem? Why do you have empathy? What's your authority? And then we write out a simple plan for their success, both the process we guide them through and the agreement we'll make with them to be at their side until their problem is solved. If you look really hard at this step, you'll see your brand promise, the experience your customer will have every time they engage with you or your brand. And then we call them to action. We'll give them direct action, engaging people who are ready now, and also transitional action for those who'll be ready sooner or later. And then we'll show them their future. This is what your success will look like when you work with me, but also this is the failure you'll face when you do not work with me. And here's the art of overt and covert messaging. You don't have to use scary language to help people understand what's at risk, but you do have to make them understand what they will lose by not working with you. And that's how we craft your message. Hey, perfect customer, I know who you are. I know what problem you face and why it vexes you on every level. I have empathy. I have authority. I can solve your problem with this 1, 2, 3. Here's the 1, 2, 3 of how we're going to solve your problem. Here's who you'll be when you succeed with me. And here's who you'll be if you choose not to succeed with me. Then you need to communicate this message with consistency. That's where branding comes in. We need this information because we use it to create your brand. To convey your message, we use logo, colors, fonts, images, language, and user experience. We convey your plan and your promise. Together, your brand communicates your value, and we do it constantly and consistently. Branding is communicating your value constantly and consistently to your target audience. They'll need to see you more than 20 times before they feel like they know you. So make sure every one of these views conveys your value to them. Each impression that conveys the right message strengthens your relationship. Each impression that conveys the wrong message weakens your relationship. Each impression that conveys no message or a confusing message just does nothing for you. Again, this is how people waste their marketing budgets. They don't take the time to think about what they're saying before they start talking. Well, it's best to know what your value is before you brand yourself. It's never too late. And that brings me to websites. These are a few we've done recently. Your website's the single most important place to tell your story. It's less expensive than print, it can be updated constantly, and it is your story to control. There are about 1.9 billion websites out there, but most are loaded with stock photography and computer-generated content. So create a website that shows your value and quality. Brand consistently throughout your website. Repeat key messages often. Layer your messaging through your text, your scannable text, your images, and your research. Let your website communicate through organization and user experience as much as with words and images. Help your customers see on every level how they can't live without you. Change the way you talk about your business. Don't tell people you're awesome. Tell them how you make them awesome. I'm Claire Liston with C. Liston Communications. We help our clients connect and convince. Connect with your target audience, convince them to do business with you. Our deliverables are logos, print materials for companies and events, and websites. But our value is helping you communicate your value. Thank you.